let me start by saying how great you did in the movie and how great the film is. I'm assuming when you sign on to something like this and you look at a script of this quality, I'm assuming going in, you're like, this could be a special film.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason I signed on was because I knew how much the conversation resonated with me. And if done right, I thought that I knew the potential of the project. I didn't actually know until much later when I saw the project and I saw in the time in which it came out. I was like, wow, this is something. How lucky could we have gotten to have been able to say something like this, to create this kind of art in this particular time? So, yeah, I thought I knew, but I really didn't. I was pleasantly surprised.
The film takes place in '64, but unfortunately, it's just as relevant today. And I am curious, do you feel like as a society that the last year, with everything that's been going on, that we are, God willing, at like a transition moment? Or do you think that the struggle that has been going on for decades is going to continue for decades?
I don't know. It's a catch-22 because we've been at this transitional period in the 60s with the civil rights movement. We've been there in the 90s, dealing with police brutality, and a lot of it was sparked off, in the LA riots with Rodney King. We've been here before, and that's why I keep thinking that the goal is not a monetary action or a moment of deviation from the normal. It's consistency of change. Change happens when there's consistency of differences to a point where equity and equality for all is normal, to the point where it looks ridiculous if, people aren't getting equal wages because of the color of their skin or the demographic of where they're from. Like that has to be ridiculous. It's ridiculous to us. We get it. So I don't know. All I can say is that I hope that we are at the precipice of the continuation of these efforts that will generate and create lasting and consistent change, because I see the art coming out. I see the people galvanized and moving. I see the work being done. We just need to maintain for us all to keep moving forward. And I feel hopeful that we can do that.
When you are playing a role like this and you're working with such other gifted performers, are you staying in character a lot more when you're on set, or are you sort of like going in and out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I stay focused 24/7 with my work. With this particular role, I stayed in voice. So I kind of step in and step out with my mental check-ins. I step out enough that, Regina comes up and has a note, or we trying to get somewhere. I know enough to watch and figure out where to shift and move. But when I'm in the character and I'm doing my performance, I'm in it thinking about how can I continue to be more and more and more like this person. So I'm constantly doing work. I never let up for a second, and I never get distracted.
I'm imagining one of the things that I really loved about your performance is I could see this in certain scenes, like this seething anger almost below the surface. And I'm obviously, I'm sure, was there one thing or a few things that you looked at to prepare to play, the role? Or like, could you sort of talk about that preparation?
I think that when you saw the seething anger in those films, I probably just had like cramps that day, bro. It's probably like going through something, and I don't know, I pulled a muscle. I don't know. No, I looked at a lot of his videos from the past, and yes, from his debates, one that I speak about all the time, where it came to him debating racist governor of Georgia at the time, Lester Maddox on the Duke Cavett show. His mannerisms, his composure, even how he moved, I used all of that to influence my scene with Beau Bridges when he was playing Mr. Carlton in the beginning. I used all of it to help me drive through what his emotional journey was and his purpose was for this particular night, and what he had to say, why he was there, and why he wanted to say it.
I'm obviously incredibly excited about, some other superhero movie that might be coming up in the future.
What superhero movie are you talking about?
I have no idea. Something with Dwayne Johnson, maybe.
Dwayne. Yeah, man.
How when you for a role like that, how much are they telling you about the arc of the character and ultimately what you'll be doing? And how much is it sort of like, oh, Dwayne Johnson, superheroes, DC, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. So we discuss a lot about the arc of the character, and that's all I can say on that.
Right. What I guess what I mean is though, do you know ultimately like what they want you to do in the DC universe, or is it sort of like you're just signing on to this one thing?
The connection broke up. I couldn't hear. Oh man.
Okay.
You said something about The Rock though, and yes, I'm sworn to secrecy. But yeah, working with The Rock, man, this is gonna be awesome. Man, I'm a big fan of the moves he's made in his career and how he got to where he's at. I mean, you got to be a smart brother, and I'm talking about a hustling brother to make it up to the top of the ranks to become the biggest action star in the world. And he's done so with really smart strategic moves. So I can't wait to just kind of pick his brain on a couple of things. I've already been asking him about the nutritional stuff. He got me set right there. But, I like to surround myself with real mavericks who are teachers. And I feel like being around him, I'll be able to learn a little bit of how to manage that hustle, just the way I learned a lot from, Regina on this project in terms of how she handled herself as a leader on set and being able to manage the full team, man. It was a fantastic education watching her work.
On that note, I got to go. I'm also looking forward to City on a Hill season 2.
Thank you.
I would talk about it, but anyway, I'm out of time. But listen, man, I've been a fan of your work for a while. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you.